last night I was picking up some Mexican food to bring home. I do that quite often. I have to add to my gut. And I was walking out, and a fellow walked over to me and said, you know, I'm a mainline conservative, but you woke me up. My dad didn't believe in 9/11 being an inside job, but I showed him the footage of Building 7 imploding, and you know he was a Navy SEAL / UDT, his dad, and he said, that's a controlled demolition. Yeah, they blew it. I mean, that's all you got to do is watch Building 7. So that's why, I mean, look at Jesse Ventura, UDT, Navy SEAL, saying the same thing. Anybody who knows sees that, but then we have all the footage of them saying, get back, we're going to blow up 7. We have the local newscast saying they're thinking about bringing the building down. Let's go ahead and play this 20-second clip, and there's a longer one coming up, with the former Secretary of Defense, Donald Rumsfeld, on Mancow's radio show. The audio is also at mancow.com. Here it is.
Building 7, I often hear about. No plane hit Building 7. Why did Building 7 come down? What do you tell people?
What is Building 7?
Or when it was at Building 5, or the building that wasn't hit by the plane? Building 7.
I have no idea. I've never heard that.
Oh.
Do a talk radio show. Oh, you'll hear it.
There's a longer clip coming up. Mancow, do you really believe that a 47-story building, it would be the biggest building in over 40 states, several hundred yards away, not hit by a falling building, fires start in it, it collapses at 5:25 in the afternoon, CNN, the police are on tape saying, get back, they're going to blow up that building. I can play that clip if you want to hear it. And Rumsfeld magically doesn't know about the main CIA building on the East Coast outside Langley blowing up and collapsing that day at free fall speed.
Oh, my God, Alex. I'm walking through TJ Maxx with my kids. What are you asking me?
You sent me the Building 7 clip yesterday.
Yes.
I was on your show today. You brought it up to me. You said this is really starting to make you question things.
Well, okay, look, here's the deal. I feel like the Jedi mind trick was done on me, because how could he not know? I couldn't wrap my mind around it. You don't even know how to respond. It's kind of like you walk in with your wife, and she's with another guy, and you say, hey, honey, what's going on? And she says, well, what guy? There's no guy here. But I can see the guy. I mean, it was just bizarre. I mean, look, he was very friendly. You saw him on Letterman. He was very friendly on Letterman as well. He was a very friendly guy. But how does he not know Building 7 came down? It defies... it defies everything, doesn't it?
Well, you can hear how he suddenly, because I've heard the rest of the interview, he's a lot more energetic. He just gets real quiet and goes, no, I don't know anything about that. I mean, that's got lie written all over it.
Well, how does he not know Building 7? Excuse me. How does he not know Building 7? I mean, what do you make of that?
Well, Mancow, they never want to talk about Building 7. They never paid any attention to it. I've got scores, and I've played them here over and over again. We've written articles about it, with CNN, local CBS, local Fox. Amy Goodman was there, and they're told to run. It's going to blow up. And the cops are saying, get back, it's about to come down. They're going to bring down that building. Silverstein goes on PBS a year later and says, we gave the order to pull it and then watch the building come down.
Well, look, I've heard the stories. It was a planned demolition, right? They were going to bring it down. Now I've heard that, and now they're claiming that that another building fell on it. Although that's not really what happened, is what you say and others say. So where are you headed with this? Are you saying that Rumsfeld and Bush and Bove and all these characters were in on it, that they brought down all these buildings?
Well, we have to ask the question, why are they acting stupid? Why is it on record that they said they were going to blow it up? BBC, 25 minutes before, on BBC World and BBC 24, simultaneously, with the same script, with their teleprompter readers on 2 different BBCs, said Building 7, the Solomon Brothers building, has fallen. It's completely collapsed, and there they are live with it right behind them. It hasn't collapsed. And then they denied that they even did that. Then years later, BBC said, yes, we were told by Reuters it had collapsed. This is what's happening. It's kind of like Lee Harvey Oswald 2 hours before his name was released, about an hour before he was even captured, running around Dallas, they got their time zones wrong, and in New Zealand, Australia, and several other countries, newspapers ran with his photo and his name that he was the shooter of John F. Kennedy when it wasn't even on the news here yet. They had their story and their script ready, and they jumped the gun. They jumped the gun.
Wow, I've never heard that, Val. But look, from being at different news networks and watching how things are done, I mean, and this is not going to really help you with your show. I just find it interesting that every time I'm with a crowd, and I was at CPAC, and Ron Paul won 30%. I mean, he won and then some. Other people were getting 2 and 3%, and that's who we hear about on TV. Ron Paul killed at CPAC, and all we hear about is Romney. I've broken bread with Romney. I've hung out with Romney. He's a nice enough fella. He's unelectable as president. And if the Republicans, their main thing seems to be against health care, blah, blah care, and yet that's what Romney gave us in Minnesota. So
Romney wrote it. Romney wrote it.
Yeah, so look, there's a lot that is very odd to me. I mean, I see it's like Building 7. Building 7 came down. No, it didn't. These aren't the droids you're looking for. Ron Paul in every one of these polls wins, and you and I are both friends with Ron Paul, so maybe that distorts our view. And I like him politically, but it's just amazing. Romney is a guaranteed loser, and that's who they're going to run. And they keep telling us Romney, Romney, Romney. It reminds me of Giuliani. Remember Giuliani? Remember Fred Thompson?
Yeah, they're putting a horse that can't win in. It's like a Don King fight where he puts a fighter in that couldn't fight his way out of a paper bag against Tyson. But expanding on that analogy, and I know you got to go, but I mean, this is important, man, Cal. Expanding on that, he only won by 2 points last year. He won by 7 points, totally creaming Romney in second place. And I was listening to the radio news feed that this network, Genesis, carries, and they didn't even report the Monday after that Ron Paul had won. All they talked about was Mitt Romney. And so I just, exactly, I mean, it's like the Super Bowl and, a team wins, and then they don't even tell you about the team that won the Super Bowl. They tell you about the team that lost and imply that they won.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, it is the Generals versus the Globetrotters, and yet they keep running the Generals. Hey, Bud, let me tell you, here in Chicago, what happened yesterday.
Oh, yeah. All this election fraud. I mean, let me stop you. Talk about it. Magically record voting problems and the gangster Rahm Emanuel he's in. Tell us.
Yeah. Well, look, you have it's so big, Alex. It's so big. And I don't want to insult your listeners. But it's so big, I don't even know how to put it into radio terms. And this is what I do for a living. Let me try to make it simple. This guy, Rod Blagojevich, came out and said, look, they're crooks. They want to jack up your taxes. They want to steal from you. I won't let them. They're going to dummy up something to try to destroy me. And I thought, well, that guarantees our taxes aren't going to go up. They jacked up our taxes 67%. They keep telling us this guy's a crook. The courts freed him. A jury said, no, this guy isn't a crook at all. And immediately, they screamed out in court, retrial! And, of course, the government has endless funds to go after people. They've never proven anything against this guy. Look, I live in Illinois. All these guys are crooks, but they haven't been able to prove anything on this kid. So he says he's going to talk. And if he talks, the House of Obama comes down. Barry's House of Cards comes forward.
Well, listen, he better talk now because Ron Brown, the Commerce Secretary, was going to go down. He said, I'm going to talk, and they shot him in the head and blew the airplane up.
In the back of his head.
And had the Special Forces blow the hatch and high-low out of the plane.
Do you have time for me to finish here?
Yes, go ahead.
So the Daley family, Mayor Daley, a famous name in Chicago, he's going to step down. His brother replaces Rahm Emanuel. Rahm Emanuel, the head of the White House, is coming to Chicago. I know for a fact the number one guy, and he's a great man. He's a great man, okay? And maybe someday I'll talk about it. I gave him my word that I would not. And I'm telling you, the guy that would have been the next mayor of Chicago that is a great man, got a personal call from his old political buddy Obama, and Obama said, look, you can't run. Do not run. And this guy decided not to. And I don't know what kind of, I don't know what was said, what was promised, if there was threats. Alex, I don't know. My point is, here comes Rahm Emanuel to make sure all the bodies stay buried, figuratively. Blagojevich are going to make sure he doesn't talk. They want to make sure they protect, I believe, and I study this and I live this, guys. I believe they want to protect the house of cards that is the Obama administration. They don't want the truth to come out. And this election, less than 500,000 people voted in Chicago. Wow.
Well, I've got the reports pouring out of Chicago of massive fraud and people saying that the fix was in, but we all know there's never election fraud in Chicago.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, the old joke is the dead vote. I don't know that it's very funny, but that's what everybody talks about.
All right, Mancow, finishing up here, and I want to get reports. I know you're very busy. You know, soon. Our man in Chicago is Eric Mancow Muller, Mancow.com. But in closing, going back to Rumsfeld, I mean, look.
Yeah.
You asked me today on your show, what is a 9/11 truther? Well, it runs the gamut. But all I know is that Norman Panetta, the transportation secretary, was in the bunker with Cheney 45 minutes earlier than Cheney said he was, and testified before Congress that Cheney basically ordered a stand down of the F-16s to not shoot down Flight 77 or whatever supposedly went over or into the Pentagon. And so all I'm saying is, Mancow, I'll send you, like you sent me the clip of Rumsfeld, we appreciate it, I'll send you the articles we've written with a bunch of video clips of cops and people going, get back, they're going to blow up Building 7. And it was on the news that, well, we may bring it down. They blew it up. And now Rumsfeld tells you, I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, come on.
Okay, look, Alex, send me the audio. I want it. Okay, but look, let's skip everything, okay? Let's skip everything you just said. Can we skip that for a second?
Sure.
Okay. How about just the fact that Building 7 in New York came down on 9/11 and he doesn't know about it? I mean, let's just start there. And then when your mind starts racing and you start connecting the dots, it is a frightening proposition. Do you follow what I'm saying?
No, absolutely. That he's there playing dumb, caught like Sylvester with the canary in his mouth.
Yeah, he's spitting out feathers. He's spitting out feathers. Well, look, I hear a lot about your program, and I always love when you're on my show. It's you make me think, and I don't know that I like that.
Well, facts are facts, Mancow, and we appreciate your courage.
I think I'm going to have to turn on CNN so I feel better about the country again.
Well, but I mean, look, I mean, it's just like Andrew Napolitano has come out and said he doesn't believe the official story. That's a big deal. He got attacked for it. Now we've seen, after he looked at Building 7 footage, we've now seen Geraldo Rivera come out and say he now wants to look at it. That shows that you guys are honorable and will at least say, wow, this stinks to high heaven. Mancow.com. Thank you for giving us the audio. We're going to play a longer clip of Rumsfeld coming back, but I'm going to let you get back to your family, and I'll see you next Wednesday when I have my spot on your show. I appreciate you having me on, Eric.
Thank you, Alex. God bless. God bless.
There he goes. All right, take care, buddy. Great job. Visit Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. When you're on the site, you can also tune in 24 hours a day to my daily radio broadcast. There's also a free iPhone app to listen to the syndicated radio show when and where you want.